Top of the morning, Raider Nation. Top of the morning to everybody out there, man. I know I went on a little later than usual, but we here. We still gonna talk about sports, talk about the Raiders, talk about the combine, talk about everything that you guys want to hear. But before we start with today's live stream, before we start with today's show, man, make sure to hit that like button and also that subscribe button if you haven't already. But it does a little bit of your time, takes a little bit of your time, but does a lot for this channel. Shout out to everybody that's up in the chat right now. I see Dominique up in here. I see Sal up in the building. I see Raider Diaz, JC Raider up in the building. Let's go. What is up, Oos? What is up, Adam? We are here. Yeah, third day in a row, man. It I'm not gonna say it's not easy waking up early, but hey, today we got a lot of things to talk about, and we here. I love interacting with you guys and just having a good time shooting the shits and just starting the morning the right way. And good morning to Raider Ross. I see you up in the chat as well. But today, man, like you guys seen in the thumbnail, man, we'll talk about Eric Stokes. We'll talk about Trent Williams and even some other players as well, and whatever's going on at the combine. But without further ado, got to bring on the big Oos, the honorary Oos. Joe Morley, how you doing, Oos?
Good morning, good morning. It's hump day. It's Wednesday, dude.
Shit.
Wake up already. Woo! I don't know.
There we go. Okay.
Look at this.
A little
Like
too early
party.
for all that, but okay, you're looking a little festive right now.
It's too early for
No,
all
I'm
that.
just joking. You look a little festive.
Hey,
you
I
can
got
leave it on
flowers,
this if you want. Leave it on in the background. Have it just like. No, I'm just joking. How you doing,
Like,
Oos?
hey, just wake up and stay in club mode, huh? Just stay in that club mode.
Oos, you stay ready so you ain't got to get. You stay ready so you don't ever got to get ready, Oos. That's what it is, right? Adam says, "What up, Joe?"
What up,
Yes,
Adam? What's up, Raider Nation? How's everybody doing today?
hey man,
It
we
is
get.
Wednesday, combine week. One more day until we start the workouts, right? Until we
Yeah,
start.
until all the real stuff happened. Now I know that today is the day where we get to see some interviews from players, right? I don't know how many players, but I don't know if Fernando going to be out there today, like with some player. I'm not gonna lie, I woke up not too long ago, so I don't know.
Quarterbacks, I don't. Quarterbacks are there, so I don't. It looks like quarterbacks won't do media interviews until Friday.
Oh, okay.
What I'm seeing.
Also, they do the interviews the day that they do the drills type deal.
No, because quarterbacks don't hit the drills until Saturday.
Also, like the day. Oh, like the day before.
Yeah.
Okay,
It looks like they
because
do it the day before.
today is like the linebackers, right?
Yeah, today's place kickers, D linemen, and linebackers.
And then they start workouts tomorrow or drills tomorrow.
Yeah, and then
I see.
they'll do the on-field work tomorrow. I think kickers kick today for some reason. I don't know if
Yeah.
I can show it, but yeah, the on-field starts tomorrow, and then for that, and then like DBs and tight ends will do their interviews tomorrow while these guys are on the field, and then work on that.
Okay.
The last day is the big guys. The offensive linemen go the last day.
Big dogs. Yeah. JC said, which group are you guys most excited for? I would always say like quarterbacks and wide receivers and stuff like that. But I think this year, for me, like you said, I think the offensive lines could just offensive linemen because, there's going to be a lot of them like outside of the first round that is going to be, players that we look at. And I mean, I'm not going to try to put everything on the combine to say, oh, that raises somebody's stock or not. Like that's the end all be all. But for a lot of those mid round guys, those are where that's where you kind of get notoriety. If not, a lot of people know about you, especially if you kill it in these drills. Then there's going to be a lot of eyes on you. But what position group for you would you say is like you're most excited for?
Well, I think the defensive line, the edge rushers, is something that I want to see because we're always looking to add to Max Crosby, and we've tried the last couple, multiple years, and we need to find somebody to help take the pressure off Max or allow Max to be one-on-one pressure, right? Like kind of like what the Cleveland Browns did with Mason Graham last year, and that defensive line to and allow Myles Garrett to just be free. So I'm interested in that. Normally, you would say the wide receivers, quarterbacks, and running backs, right? But it's kind of a down year in the draft for those positions. There's not a lot of top tier guys. I guess you're watching them to see who could go in the later rounds and who could probably be that steal. But there's not a lot of like first round quarterbacks, running backs, and wide receivers like there have been in the past couple of years.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, offensive linemen. Like I don't know if people understand like how deep this draft is at offensive lineman. Where the one guy I love to watch and listen to is Daniel Jeremiah. And he's saying there's at least 17 very good offensive linemen, offensive tackles, that
Yeah,
could potentially help a lot of teams out. So it'd be and it only gets better the more they talk, but and work out and do all their
yeah.
days and stuff.
I mean, this is a year for teams to have a need at the offensive line position, right? Because there's a lot in free agency, a lot of veterans for sure up there in age that you could get. And then there's a lot of people in the draft, a lot of guys in the draft, whether it's the first round, second, third round, there's always going to be a name out there that, you know, could be enticing. And for the Raiders who need as much help as they can at the offensive line position, I think that this is the perfect year to do that. And we don't and hopefully they don't do it like how the Patriots and the Bears did it, where they got the quarterback and then went and addressed the offensive line. Hopefully we could do it all in one year, at least address and bolster up that offensive line while we have the chance to this year. And
Did
go
you see
ahead.
that interview with it was John Spytek, but I think it was with Q and
I did.
where they had like he was talking and John Spytek talked about how he's seen teams turn around. He goes, I want to do a quick turnaround, but I want to do it correctly.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Like, because we've seen where the Raiders try to bring in a bunch of veterans and try to piece them together, and it still didn't work out right. So he wants to do a quick turnaround. He wants to get the right pieces, but he wants to build it for the long term, which is
Yeah.
good to hear. Good to hear for Raider Nation. Because do you want that? Do you want that 1 year turnaround? Do you want the 2016 year? Do you want the 2021 year? Or do you want multiple years of, hey,
Yeah.
we're in contention? Like, we don't
No,
want
no.
that. We don't want to talk about that 1 year that we made the playoffs. Oh yeah, we made the playoffs 3 years ago. No, we want to talk about like, hey, we're gonna keep fighting. We're gonna build up this offseason and make it and go into the divisional round. We're gonna go into the conference round. We're gonna keep going.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like we want to have that continuity and have a team that's built for many years and not just that 1 year where okay, we have everything going for ourselves. But yeah, and this is a quote. I don't know if this is what you were talking about, but this is what I seen yesterday, and it basically kind of like alluded to like the point that we already talked about after his press conference. But just for the quarterback position in general and just building the team from there on. So I'll play it here. I don't know if you've seen this video or not.
I think you've got to support them in many different ways. I mean, to think that you're just going to take a young quarterback anywhere and just start him week one and it's going to go great is naive, and you're not doing that kid any favors at all. I think probably more organizations failed those kids than those kids failed the organizations, and so whoever we got at the quarterback spot, it takes the whole building to support them because they have such a hard job, and we've got to be patient with young players in general. I think we saw that with some of our rookies this year. I mean, offensive linemen, it's a hard job to come in and start as a rookie. So those guys had to earn the chance to go play football. And we've got to support those guys and build them up and develop them. I think you've got to support
Yeah.
them in many different ways. I mean,
So like I don't know. Did you see that clip or is that the one you were talking about
Yeah,
or no?
that's the same interview that I was talking about just earlier,
Yeah.
or later in it. But
But I love that because like the main thing that he said that I really like fucked with was the fact that he said that a lot of organizations fail the kid, then the kid fails the organization, and it's putting players in the right position, whether it's the quarterback, whether it's a running back. I mean, we seen it last year with Ashton Genty. Not saying that it was total shit, but like he was put in a good position to succeed last year with the offensive line, and that's why we say addressing that offensive line this offseason is really crucial. But I'm just happy that it's in an offseason where we can afford it and we have the capital to at least address it if we need to. But yeah, what was your thoughts? Is
no, this is something that it was interesting to me to hear it actually come from John Spytek, because we've been hearing it come from Tom Brady the last couple of years, where he said that young quarterbacks need the time to develop, and it's good to hear that it's something that I guess we need to hear as Raider Nation, is that we need to be patient as well. Fernando Mendoza is not going to come in here overnight and change this franchise. there's nobody that can come in here overnight and change this franchise, and it's going to take time. And we need to allow our players to develop and not put too much pressure on them themselves. So it's good to hear that the actual front office is here and doing the same thing, and it kind of like lets us sit back a little bit and go, okay, we're in this. We're in a learning curve. We're going to see Fernando go through because it's the same thing of just like he said, building the team. You want Fernando here for the long haul. You don't want him. You don't want him like David Carr in the Houston Texans, like getting sacked, 80 plus times in the season, and just off, taking that mindset away from him right away. So it's good to hear that the front office is actually going to do everything they can to make our players succeed. And it's tough to hear that because who goes, we're going to draft a quarterback number 1, but we're not going to play him. Like that's not the.
Oh yeah. That was another thing. Yep.
That's not the thing. Like that's not what you want to hear, but it's also probably the best thing you want to hear.
Yeah. Like you only put them in there if they're ready, and that's what you say. If they're ready to play, that's when you put them in, and that's the same. That's the same thing that I have on Fernando Mendoza. Is yes, draft him. We have to draft him because we're in a position to draft him, and it's a big position of need for the Raiders. I mean, it's been a big position of need for years, right? But I like even as much as I love Fernando and as much as I want him with the first overall pick, I'm okay with sitting him down for a year if we need to, and let him develop, let everything come to him. But if he's ready to go out there like a Russell Wilson, like I look back at the Seahawks when they got Matt Flynn, they paid him all this money. They expected him to be the guy for the year for a couple of years, but Russell Wilson outplayed him in the offseason and preseason to the point where it was like, you know what, this guy is ready. So if that's what it takes for the Raiders to, develop Fernando Mendoza the same way, whether we bring in a veteran quarterback or stick with Gino, whatever it may be, then I'd rather go in that direction and just have him beat out the veteran quarterback to start right away or to sit down. And I think that's the direction that, John Spytek was kind of alluding to. And we've already heard it from Tom Brady as well. So, continue to build a team around the quarterback and go from there. And
yeah, I think you're right on that too. Like if they get to training camp and Fernando Mendoza is just by far the best quarterback and he's learned everything and he's got enough, they're not going to sit him. Like they're not going to sit him just because they feel like that's what they have to do. They're going to sit him if they feel that he's not developed by. But if he's beating everybody out in camp, then go ahead and start him day one. But I think they're also like getting us prepared for if he isn't ready. That way we're there. But like you said, there has been times where the quarterback, like Derek Carr did it. He beat him out. It just happens when you get to camp. You just got to see how good. And Fernando seems like a smart guy, and he's going to pick up the offense pretty well. So I mean, it all depends on how it goes. But I think they're smart enough. Like that's what I liked about John Spytek. And I think the more we see him talking, the more we see him out there giving his plan to the Raider Nation, is that he has a long-term plan and he's smart about it. And he sets these little notes where it's like, I'm going to plant this seed in your head now, so later on you're already prepared for it.
No. Yeah. And I agree with that. And I love the direction that they're going in. And I think it also helps because, Mark Davis has already said and given John Spytek time, right? Because usually we'd fire him by this time. But like the fact that he knows, okay, hey, I got over that hump of getting fired after the first year. He's giving me time. He's giving me control. He's giving Tom Brady some control as well. And that's why he feels like, okay, this could be a slow burn, but we got time to do it. And I think now knowing that and having that security is like, okay, let's do this the right way and not rush things because we don't have to. Shout out to Antonio for the 199. He says, keep the show going. What time does it start? It starts at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time every single morning. Monday to Friday, at least. Today we went a little bit after, like 11:10 or whatnot. But hey, it is what it is. We're going to be here every single day. I appreciate it, Oos. He said he's loving the show, man. I appreciate it. Like I said, we'll continue to build community on here and talk about everything, whether it's Raiders, anything else in the NFL, or just other things in general.
Yeah, if you guys have a topic that you want to throw it in there, we'll try to see what's
Yeah,
up.
we'll try to hit everything as we move on. But yeah, it's been a solid couple of days too, man. Just having a couple people up in here, man. Kenny says would rather have consistency than a burst of improvements. That's true. Consistency, man. And I want to be like the I want to be like the Steeler fans and the Raven fans, where playoffs is just the it's just a bar. Like the playoffs is just a bar, and we just trying to get over that hump.
Yeah,
Like,
where you're firing coaches for not winning playoff games, like, not because
yeah.
we're 4 wins, for not winning games at all.
Yeah, that's
Like,
the
we're
type of
tired of not moving on in the playoffs. Like,
yeah, and that's why I give credit to the Steelers, man. They haven't really had like an identity offensively, like at the quarterback position since Ben, but they've continued to at least fight or get into the playoffs here and there most of the time. But our time will come, and I feel like we're going in the right direction though. And I guess getting back to like the offensive line and whatnot, or getting back to this team, man. There's going to be a lot of decisions to be made, right? Going into the offseason outside of the combine with free agency, but of course, looking at players to re-sign. Now, yesterday, the report came out yesterday. I think it was from Ryan McFadden that the Las Vegas Raiders GM John Spytek told the media that there has been a good dialogue in regards to retaining cornerback Eric Stokes heading into free agency. Spytek noted they are open to bring back Stokes on a deal. Stokes was on a 1-year, $4 million deal. Now, I guess that's good news because there's a lot of Raider fans, and seeing what he did last year in 2025, I think he definitely is somebody to keep an eye on because he was one of our better players, especially in the secondary, a secondary that struggled all year long last year, but he definitely overplayed his expectations for the team. What are your thoughts on this, and do you believe that the Raiders should bring back Eric Stokes?
I do like Eric Stokes, and it was interesting to see, if he was going to have mutual interest in coming back, because a lot of players did come over to play with Pete Carroll, and Eric Stokes is a guy that fit into Pete Carroll's system. But I think he loves the Raider Nation, and I think with Rob Leonard staying, it kind of motivates him to stay. But if like we talked about it yesterday a little bit with Eric Stokes when we were doing our like little GM model,
Yeah,
and I said that maybe a lot of people underestimate, or they don't see how good Eric Stokes had of a season last year because he didn't have that interception. Like, there was a couple times where it was right in his hands and he
yeah,
dropped it. I think especially like the last game, but he did play in 1,037 snaps last year. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, our
yeah,
defensive players were on the field a ton, and he didn't give up a lot of catches. I think receptions allowed. So in all those snaps or whatever, I think 1,037. I want to say 585 is the total of coverage snaps that he was in. How many receptions do you think he gave up in that 585 coverage snaps that he was in, or that he was charged for?
like 200.
28.
Oh, that's pretty good.
It was pretty good, huh? Like,
Yeah, that's
pretty
pretty
good.
good. Dude.
So,
I,
like, when you actually like break it down, and then he had another 46 tackles to go along with it. He was.
yeah, see, like for me, like I didn't. I guess from the ISIS, I didn't really think too much about it. I didn't think that he was like that great last year, but looking at a lot of the stats and the stuff that you bring up and other people bring up, I'm like, oh damn, he actually was good. And I also see that he allowed 0.6 yard per I forgot, but he was tied for the lowest yards allowed basically last year
Yeah,
for a cornerback that played 200 snaps, which that's impressive in itself, and it does provide, like I think that he provides some stability in a weak cornerback room, because we don't really have a lot of cornerbacks that are up there, and then he does have that experience as a veteran. So like I think those are all the right things to I guess the right things to bring him back in. If not, like he's going to be one of the top cornerbacks in this upcoming free agency. What would you say that he should get paid?
yeah. He's only 26 years old, and this is probably his best season, because when he was with Green Bay, he was often injured, and Green Bay has a history of just drafting guys that don't fit their system, and that Eric Stokes was one of them.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what his market is. I haven't looked at the sports tack and see.
Yeah. Let me see.
But I know he's gonna want some money because he was rated the 18th best cornerback last year. 18th best out of 114 people that played that position last year. So I don't know. I don't know what would be fair for him. Is there like I guess we can look it up. It doesn't.
Honestly, I don't even know how. Oh, market value. That's where we go.
Yeah,
Around 7.4 mil.
Oh yeah. See, I was thinking closer to 10, but yeah.
I think it'd be around like 7 to 10. I think depending.
Oh, somebody said right here, bring him back, but only like on a 3-year, $15 million deal. So I mean,
that's $5 million a year.
It's a little.
If they can, then okay. But I think, but you're okay with the closer to 10 mil then, if that was the case.
Well, I'm just saying, like the salary cap is going up again this year.
Yeah.
Everything goes up. I just saw that a kicker, the Dallas Cowboy kicker, is asking for $10 million. So,
golly.
It's out there. Like, I mean, Brandon Aubrey is one of the best kickers in the league, but $10 million for a kicker. I remember when we signed Janikowski for $4 million, and that was like the highest at one time.
Yeah, but yeah, that price going up and up and up. But yeah, that's crazy. But he deserves it, right?
I mean, if they can.
If they value him that much, yeah.
And it depends. Like if they're going to use him, and he was our number one cornerback last year, and I think if you're going to continue to and the Raiders see the future as him, and he has that future. I mean, like I said, he's only 26. You pay him the money that he wants, and it's a position of need that we need. And holy crap! But I've always said, if you build the defensive line correctly and you get that pass rush, it's going to help your secondary. So, I'm good with bringing back Stokes and going from there as long as we help in other positions.
No, for sure. And that, but I wouldn't mind bringing him back, but I wouldn't want them to stop there, right? Because there's going to be other cornerbacks that we could bring him, but I think he could definitely be like a piece there in the secondary. And possibly bring some of those guys from the Seahawks or just some other veterans that could possibly help out. But it's just good that, he at least made the most out of his contract last year, the same way Devin White did. Even though our defense wasn't the greatest, we had some bright spots there.
So if they upgrade the defense, like say they bring in a pass rusher, they bring in a linebacker and another safety. So they kind of upgrade everything but the cornerback position, and they leave Eric Stokes and they leave Porter as the two starting cornerbacks last year. Would you consider that a failure in free agency?
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't see that as a free agent, a failure, because as long as they win and adjust a lot of positions elsewhere, because there are a lot of holes that the Raiders do have that they need to address, right? But cornerback would help, but it wouldn't be the end all be all. It would just, I feel like, with a better pass rush, like you said, will definitely help the secondary out. I don't think it's the end all be all, but as long as we address other positions, I'd be happy with it.
Yeah, and I think if they keep adding to it, I would like to add one or two, but I don't know. I don't know how upset I would be, like if we ran it back this season with Eric Stokes and Porter as our starting cornerbacks. Like,
especially now that Porter
I don't want Kai Blue Kelly out there, but
yeah, but that's the thing. If we don't get no big names, like we go get some of these veterans that could possibly come over here and do something, like say like a Adoree Jackson, somebody that you could get a little cheaper than a lot of the top guys, or just somebody that could come in and fill in. Of course, we got Porter, and now Porter has a year under his belt where he maybe he does better in year two. Maybe not, but at least you can see. Because he was touted as one of the top guys coming out of the draft last year, so maybe we could get the most out of him. But I think this is a good step in the right direction, especially when you're looking at players to bring back on the team, because there's not a lot of players that we're gonna re-sign though. But
yeah. Well, we kind of went through the list yesterday, and I think there's like 26 free agents that the Raiders have or something like that, and we were like,
and most of them aren't coming back.
we'll take one. We'll take one.
There's probably like 2, 3 that you're like, okay, maybe, but yeah, I think Eric Stokes, according to everybody, is like the top name that everybody's like, okay, bring him back for sure. And then there's a lot of names. It just depends on what type of flavor you like, right? Whether or not to bring him back. Now, speaking of like free agency and whatnot, there's a name that could possibly be added to free agency. Is uh, Trent Williams. We know that the offensive line is a big deal. But Trent Williams from the 49ers, according to Adam Schefter, said that he's scheduled to carry a $39 million cap number this season. He and the 49ers are currently struggling to find a contractual solution per league sources. If they can't bridge their differences, Williams is expected to join a free agency this year, making him one of the premier players available. So let me know what you think on Trent Williams. Should the Raiders go out and get him, even though we already have a left tackle?
Well, I mean, Trent has played both sides, and he's been the left tackle for the Niners. But when he was with the Washington team, he played both sides, but it would have to that learning curve. And I don't know if you would make him or Colton Miller. I mean, Colton Miller hasn't played right tackle um, since I think his UCLA days. So I don't know. And here's the thing about Trent Williams: the Trent Williams rumors are basically like the Max Crosby rumors for us every year. Trent Williams and the 49ers go through this conversation every single year, just like we go through it with Max Crosby. And the Niners, like I know they're talking about the cap of $38 million, which is ridiculous for an offensive tackle, but it's not like the Niners are hurting in their salary cap. They can actually carry that and still be good. They're 40 million plus over the salary cap right now, so it's not a need to go out there and cut them unless they're looking to be big players in the free agency market. And that's where you look at it. But I think at the end of the day, Trent Williams still wants to be a Niner. I think the Niners, who have lacked on offensive line, need Trent Williams there. And I think it's at the end of the day, kind of like the Max Crosby story. It's all talk, and we can have fun with it, and we could do our hypothetical stuff. And that's the great thing about the offseason is what if we added Trent Williams to our offensive line to protect our young quarterback? Um, I think that's the only thing we're going to get out of it. But I think at the end of the day, he's 37 years old. I don't think he really wants to move his family too much. He'll eventually take a pay cut or restructure it and take it down to where they need it to go, and maybe add a couple of years, or I don't know. I'm not really looking at his contract. I guess I could look at his contract. Oh yeah. So this is his last year of his contract anyway. So they stretch it out a little bit until he's in the 40s. Yeah, I mean it's good to dream. I guess we're good to dream about it, just like any other situation in the NFL right now.
Well, yeah, us Raider fans is, if big name targets out there, we definitely thinking about bringing him over. I mean, he would help the offensive line. I wouldn't mind, but yeah, I know he's left tackle. Would it work though? Like maybe moving him to right tackle, or well, it wouldn't make no sense because there's a lot of other players out there that we.
I mean,
unless Colton Miller wants to go back to right tackle.
If we didn't give the extension to Colton Miller last year, maybe.
Yeah.
But and then we have to have the real conversation if Colton Miller can stay healthy for a whole season. And that's another one. But Trent Williams has his injury problems too. So
that's true.
I'm good with trying to keep Colton Miller for one more year. And I know how good Trent Williams is, but I'd rather invest the money elsewhere and go from there. Like there's other tackles and other guards on the board. Like I saw somebody yesterday that said maybe we should even give DJ Glaze one more shot at right tackle with the new offensive system, and just bring in interior offensive line. Which I was like, either way, we're gonna have to play a young guy somewhere, and it was DJ Glaze, and he can get back to his old form because I mean he did have a good rookie season, and then everybody on that offensive line took a step or two back last year. And so how much do we want to give them a second chance? And do we want to pay how much money do we want to invest into this offensive line? I know we want to get it better, but do we want to spend, like Trent Williams is going to want $20 million. If you want to go after Lindebaum, that's another $20 million. Like, you want to go after Brandon Smith, what was that? Another $15 million. Like, how much do you really want to invest? Or can we just pick up these smaller, no name, under the radar guys and try to fit them in and be a little bit cheaper and spend our money elsewhere?
Yeah, and there's a lot of different directions that the Raiders can go in, and if there's anything that we learned last year is the fact that it all comes down to coaching. You know, coaching definitely helps elevate or the bring down an offensive line. You know, of course, talent is gonna be the main thing, but as long as the offensive line coach can put them in the right positions, and even the offense coordinator could put them in the right positions to go out there and succeed, then they will. And last year, a lot of the players that we thought were really good or at least solid definitely took a step back, especially when you're putting them out of position. Shout out to S dot 187 for the $10. He says, I feel if we call two other teams and got two extra picks from our 184 and 181 pick and draft Dormani Jackson and Dalen Everett and Xavier Nwakpa at free safety. Okay, you're saying to draft those guys. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I don't know any of those three guys. Do you know a little bit of any of those?
He wants to go. Well, he's talking deep in the draft, though. He's talking like
Dormani Jackson. Yeah, you're putting me on game moves because I kind of went through the draft, but not like every single player. Dormani Jackson. Oh, okay. Defensive back. Oh, you're talking about adding to the secondary.
Yeah, he's talking about like if you know how we were having the conversation if we just ran back Stokes and we ran back Porter. He's saying that later on in the draft, you still pick up somebody like one of these two.
From
there.
Dalen Everett from the from Georgia, Domani from Alabama. Oh no, I've seen Domani's name a lot. And then the last one is you putting me on game, Moose. I'm not gonna lie. So Xavier Nwakpa. I don't even know if I'm saying it right, but I'm totally down. Like, especially if you're looking at guys to get later on in the draft or the mid round drafts, then yes. Okay, so Xavier's from Iowa, so okay.
Yeah, these are all guys. I mean, we're gonna do our whole draft special. We're still looking, but
we'll definitely go.
This is what I like about like being able to have live shows that people like. Everybody has different prospects in mind, and it gives us that broader look at it.
For sure. Yeah, and see, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, "Oh yeah, I love them, man. Like they're good prospects." And I'm like, I don't know them like that, bro.
Everett, he said Everett from Georgia.
Yeah, for Georgia.
6'1", 190. So he's kind of built like Eric Stokes. He ran a 4.3. 21 years old. We would have seen him, but we would have went to the Senior Bowl. That's on us.
Nwakpa. All right, I got 3 names on my list for to help out. Okay, Nwakpa at free safety. Okay. Shout out to S. Dot. He also donated $5. We would be complete in the secondary. Check these guys' film and 40 time. Wow. Okay, they ran 40 already, or what? Or this is like
unofficial? No. But they have they're going to run the 40 in the next couple of days. But they've already ran 40s, throughout their whole career, and they go like that. And
okay. Shout out to S. Dot.
Like I'm saying, it says Everett ran a 4.34 already, which is in top percentage of the position already.
Yeah. No, for sure. I'll definitely keep up with that then, and I'll look at that, and at least have them in the back of my mind, because I know if outside of offensive linemen, helping that secondary out. What?
So we got to put them on our list. And when are DBs going? So
yeah, you guys let me know, because I know there's a lot of players out there I don't even have on my radar, and I do my due diligence at trying to learn everybody, but I don't know everybody though. But definitely
so Friday morning we'll have to go into it a little bit more on them.
Yeah,
especially when we're looking to them, but we got to put them on our list.
Yeah,
it says
go ahead.
It says that he what I'm looking at is Everett. It says he could drop to day 2. Draft positioning likely falls into day 2 range, where teams can afford to develop his technique.
Okay.
So he's like a
Third,
round
fourth.
2, round 3, maybe.
Oh, day 2. Yeah. Round 2.
Is what they're projecting already, but unless something happens with him.
Yeah. No, definitely. We'll put that. We'll put that on the list. He also says Xavier was placed at strong safety by Iowa, but he's a ball hawk free safety before he committed to Iowa. Okay, that's something to keep in mind. That's for sure. And it's good to have a couple of those names out there. Casanova coming in with the Jermaine Illuminor. Jermaine, I wouldn't mind bringing him back. Like I said, it all comes down to the coaching staff and what they do and the best five that they put out there. And if they feel like Jermaine is a guy that they could utilize, then so be it. Yeah.
And we talked, I think, about Illuminor yesterday. Like, and he actually came out this offseason and talked about how much he learned from Max Crosby being here in Las Vegas and how much
Yeah.
it changed him as a player and how much he got to see like the work that Max put in and that because there was a time where Jermaine was thinking about actually retiring and stepping away from the game, and he talked about that when he was here, and that year that being in Las Vegas has changed him and got him to love the game of football. And then he went to New York a year later. But I mean, it'd be nice. I mean, I like you said, like John Spytek said yesterday, when you have good players in the building, you kind of want to keep them. And yeah, he might not have been the elite or great player, but he was a good, solid player, and we missed him when he left.
Yeah. And it always seems to happen like that, right? Like all the former Raiders that leave, they're all pretty good or end up being better than they were when they were over here. I mean, we recently seen Shelby Harris, and I remember when he went to the Broncos, that dude was balling over there, and we kind of see it with a lot of other players too. But hey, we got some news today. According to Marcus Johnson, that the Raiders have met with Texas Tech defensive lineman Lee Hunter at the NFL Combine. Now, Lee Hunter, hey, that's a name that we was talking about yesterday. I know one guy that's high on your list. Somebody, if he does fall in the second round, which I don't know if he will, but he's a guy that would do great on this defensive line, and just would be another solid addition, especially when you got a guy like a guy like Rob Leonard taking over the defense now, and his specialty being that defensive line, and also adding who's the guy that we brought in for the defensive line? I forgot his name. Travis Smith, right? So
Yeah. Oh, you're talking about the coach. Yeah.
yeah, coaching staff. Like it's a good sign. The Raiders meeting up with him. Hopefully, it was a good interview. Hopefully, they liked what they heard from him, and maybe he's the guy that's on the board for this team moving forward. But what's your thoughts on that?
Oh, I've talked about Lee Hunter a lot, and every mock draft I always think about taking him. Now, the question is, will he be there at number 36 when the Raiders are on the board?
Yeah,
and that's where I talked about it yesterday, where and you and I are talking about going to the draft and being there, and I remember at one point you were like, "Yeah, but we're gonna have the number 1 pick, and then what are we gonna do the rest of the day?" And I told you I have a feeling that the Raiders are gonna trade back into the first round, and because we have 10 draft picks, like we got to be able to move up and down. And you saw it last year with Spytek, where he's not afraid to move around the draft board.
yeah,
And Lee Hunter, like I told you, like there's a lot of good offensive linemen in this draft, a lot of good ones. But when you watch that offensive line tape, there's one guy who beats almost every single one of them, and it's Lee Hunter.
yeah. I like it though, and he's definitely a name to keep an eye out. And if he's a guy that's still available there in the late first round, maybe we do see something happen. And I'd be down for that as long as it's a player that they like and it's a player that we know can help this team out. Then so be it. Whether it's him, whether it's one of those top offensive linemen that surprisingly fall, like I would love to see the Raiders get a little more aggressive in the draft, especially knowing that we have 9-10 picks in this year's draft. We don't need all those picks though, but definitely would like to see that.
Yeah,
Well,
and we we talked about it earlier in the show. I brought it up where we always try to find somebody to help Max Crosby, and I think Lee Hunter would open it up because we always talk about Max Crosby, the Condor, right? His wingspan is out there. Lee Hunter has the same thing. Like Lee Hunter's wingspan is 6'9" when he's out there, and just having that defensive tackle in the middle that could take. I want to see Max not get double teamed every time. Like I want to
Yeah,
double team, triple team, and then where's everybody else on that defensive line that is
yeah.
supposed to get there? So it would be nice to, and maybe he's like the Christian Wilkins without kissing everybody's forehead. Like that's what we need.
That's what we need. As long as just bring in some great players. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. I mean, we do have Tonka Hemingway and Jonah Laulu, but I'm just joking. But yeah, shout
No,
out
but,
JC. Yo, go ahead. What were you gonna
no,
say?
but I'm saying like good players bring up other players. So
That's true.
Lalu and everybody else would benefit from another good player.
Yeah, and we seen it with the Browns recently. Just having Mason Graham over there helped elevate. Not saying that Miles Garrett needed any type of elevation, but Miles Garrett, like, it took a lot of the load off of Miles Garrett, just having another interior pass rusher to help out. Maybe that could be the same for Max Crosby if he's still here at the end of the day. Um, Shout out to JC though. He says the Nico Autry. I remember the Nico Autry left to Indianapolis, I believe so, and balled out.
Yeah.
That's just another name though, but yeah. And since we're talking about the NFL Combine though, Oos, let's see. We got some word from Mark Davis himself, who's Mark Davis is there at the NFL Combine right now, according to sources. Adam Farrell from the NFL. Um, Mark Davis showed up to his combine media availability without his iconic toupee. Davis fielded plenty of questions about quarterback Fernando Mendoza, offering strong praise, but assured the media that all options are on the table as the draft process continues. So this is huge news because now, like him saying that, and a lot of people running with it, is that number one pick might be on the table for some teams depending on what we could get back. And we just talked about that. It was like possibly, getting more picks in the first round. Maybe we go get Lee Hunter later. Maybe we don't have to trade up in the draft. If we trade back, depending on who the team is, we get more picks. I know that the Jets GM said that they talked to John Spytek. He's always talking to John Spytek. So maybe the Raiders trade back. I don't know, but it's great to hear from Mark Davis today. And that's some huge news, some breaking news from Adam Farrell's.
They did my boy Mark Davis dirty right there.
Hey, he look clean though.
I mean, look at that forehead. Like, who is that? Who's that reporter?
Adam Farrell, because he's from the NFL from ESPN.
Oh yeah, Adam Farrell. Like he's respected.
There we go.
That's dirty. Look at, and they aged him a little bit too. Huh?
That's my GM. That's my owner right there.
That's dirty. Dude. Mark Davis gonna be like, who the fuck is that? Like,
but that's big news though. It's like, well, what do you think about Mark Davis saying that? Hey, all options are on the table. Maybe that number one pick is on the table too.
I mean, Spytek said it yesterday. You always answer the phone. Like, it doesn't hurt to answer the phone call. You just say no. If it doesn't, you can hang up.
Yeah.
Oh boy, dude.
It doesn't hurt. We always got to listen. We always got to listen to offers, and you never know. Maybe one of them offers might blow you out the water. But Mark Davis.
I want to say this is the same guy, the guy that you're showing on Twitter right now. He's the same guy that reported a couple of days ago, and he had a picture of Tom Brady and Max Crosby outside the facility. And,
oh yeah, because I seen that was going crazy too.
Yeah, and he said that they were arguing and fighting outside of it.
Were they? Well, he's not. Look at it, because he's at the combine too, so he's definitely somebody that.
No more toupees. That's what.
He should shave his head though. I think he rocked that ball cut really clean though. Now he seems like legit though.
Everybody seems legit when they tell you news that you like. I mean, you can make a Twitter page and it just be like some random guy, and as long as you post stuff that people want to hear, you're gonna be liked, and people are gonna run with your tweets. I mean,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you could be like,
Look at Rasheed
Derek
Rice
Carr is
might be
returning,
released.
and rumor has it Derek Carr is returning. He's coming back to the Raiders on a 1-year, $4 million deal. Raiders are giving up a 7th-round pick for the Saints, and half of Raider Nation would run with it because that's what they want to hear, and they're not going to click on your profile to see. I mean, you could probably get a little blue check mark or something, and make
Yeah.
fake posts, and people are going to run with it and love it because it's what they want to hear.
Yeah. See, now he dropped something earlier too, just a day ago, about Rasheed Rice might be released too. So I wouldn't mind getting Rasheed Rice too
Yeah, there we go.
if the Chiefs were to release him. I wouldn't mind it.
Go ahead, and man, he's a good reporter. Oh, there's Max Crosby in Chicago.
Max Crosby might be going to Chicago because we got what's his name, Caleb Williams picking up Max Crosby at the airport.
Hey, Max recovered from that surgery quick, huh? Like, look at that picture.
Well, he can still walk though. He's good. He just got a little boot, but yeah, he's Max Crosby, Caleb Williams. I'm telling you, man. Don't follow Adam Schefter. Follow Adam Farrell.
Yeah, follow Adam Farrell's gonna get you everything.
Yeah,
you need to know right there. Yeah, Max. I don't know. Max posted a picture last night of him in his house with his family, and he looks like he still has crutches a little bit.
Yeah.
Adam Farrell, man, he's on top of his stuff.
Yeah, and
he's a better troll than I am.
Last thing right here, Max Crosby has informed the Raiders that he does not want to be traded to the Eagles as he wants to finish his career on a contender. Makes a lot of sense. Okay, for all you guys that are wondering, no, this is not real. This is all fake. He's a troll account.
He's a troll. It's funny, but
no, that is funny. Some people are saying that the Raider Nation. Oh, right here, Raider Deb said that Nation will be livid if we skip out on Fernando. Yeah, hopefully we don't. Even though that Mark Davis came out and said that, I hope we don't. But yeah, like going on from there, I wanted to ask you about Fernando Mendoza because now officially, I think according to I don't know if it was ESPN or something like that, that they have Fernando Mendoza's pro comp as Joe Burrow, which I told you that he, like, if anything, he does kind of remind me of Joe Burrow, Andrew Luck type of quarterback, right? But just for it to be on there's been a lot of outrage. People are saying like, "Oh, he's nowhere near Joe Burrow and whatnot." But what's your thoughts on that? Just being compared to Joe, I think seeing what he did in college kind of compares to what he did. But
and Joe Burrow also had an amazing wide receiver core, and maybe Indianapolis or Indiana's wide receiver core turns into the same one, with Surratt and Cooper when they get to the NFL. But he had Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, like he had a great team down there.
He had a great surrounding class, bro. A surrounding
with
core.
Fournette, his running back, I think, Leonard Fournette. Like he had a good team. But Joe Burrow also went to Ohio State and was like the third best quarterback on the team, and had to transfer over to LSU and then become the guy. So I don't know. You could put Fernando Mendoza at number one. You could compare him to Joe Burrow. You can make his comp Andrew Luck. You can make his comp Tom Brady. You can make his comp God, like whatever you want.
Did you say God?
What I don't care about the ceiling. I want to know what the floor is. I want to know what you think the bottom, what's the worst that he can be. And the worst that we've heard is Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, and Matt Ryan. So if he's Jared Goff, Kirk Cousins, Matt Ryan, and then he has the potential to be, Tom Brady, Joe Burrow, whatever you want to say up here, I'm good with here. Like, are you good with the floor?
Yeah.
With the potential to hit the ceiling, I'm good with the floor, taking him number one. I'm good with the Kirk Cousins prediction at number one overall. So of course I'll be more excited if he turns out to be Joe Burrow. But I'm looking at the floor and then seeing what he can actually turn into.
Yeah, and see, like Yeah, I like the comparison. I always every time I do player comps, like when I do the draft and whatnot, I always look at. I always have two comps. It's floor and ceiling, right? And I think you're absolutely right with the Kirk Cousins, Jared Goff floor. But I don't know why a lot of people think it's crazy to say Joe Burrow because he literally did everything that Joe Burrow did in college, and a lot of people knock Fernando because he had a great surrounding cast around him, right? But they won't knock Joe Burrow for the same thing. Now I know that maybe Joe Burrow was killing it with numbers and whatnot, but Fernando, the play style that he had in college, I think he's right up there with anybody else, especially because it was Indiana. If you put him on an LSU team with all those weapons, he probably didn't even have to do much, but just throw that ball up in the air, and you got Jamar Chase, you got Justin Jefferson, you got one of these guys going out there and balling out. So I I just feel like this year that they're downplaying a lot of Fernando's success because they're saying that the whole quarterback class is weak, which I think outside of Fernando Mendoza is pretty weak, though. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, but still, I wouldn't want to downplay like what he's been able to do and all the great things that he's done in college for 1 year. I think is huge, and I think just the fact that he's going to the Raiders or might be going to the Raiders might be a reason why a lot of people are like downplaying his potential. If I mean, it would have been different if he was going somewhere else. That's how I feel.
Yeah, and the more we get closer to the draft, there's going to be, and I think even more this weekend when the quarterbacks take the field, there's going to be a lot more hate that comes out towards Fernando Mendoza, where people are going to one because it's the Raiders, right? And what's the easiest way to get views and clicks online? Talk shit about the Raiders because the Raider Nation is going to back our team, right? And uh, we fall for it. There's a lot of stuff that we fall for. I know there's like a NFL scout fake Twitter account that's already saying that Fernando should be a fifth round pick, and people are
Oh, I
eating
see
that up. Um, and people are gonna pick apart Fernando's game, and they're gonna be like, "Look, he's only a 1 year wonder." But if you actually like, I've talked about this before. I don't know if I ever talked to you about it, but Bill Parcells has a checklist of drafting a quarterback of what there's 6 things a quarterback should hit um, for you to be able to draft him. Like a check, like what he's looking for in a quarterback um, for like when he goes to draft him, right? And let me pull it up for you so I don't get him like 100% wrong, and everybody
yeah,
can go from there. But um, where's that? But this and I didn't think much of it, but the more I actually like looked at his chart, and then I started comparing it to people that like that to players that have been drafted over the couple of years. I'm like, oh, the rule is not bad. So it's to be a 3 year starter in the college, right? That's one of the things that he has, which Fernando has done. Be a senior in college, which I think Fernando is a senior, right? Or
hmm
close to it, or he has 4 years. Graduate from college, start 30 games, which Fernando has done, win 23 of those games, which is right there, post a 2-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, and complete at least 60% of the passes thrown. That is what Bill Parcells, the old quarterback coach, used to go off of to be able to draft, like to be on his board when it comes to being drafted or being even considered for him to draft you.
yeah.
In
I mean, that's all the right signs right there, right?
so
Like,
yeah, so Fernando isn't a senior. He has 3 years, but he did throw 68% of completion. So that's one right there. He um he played in let's see 16, 17, 27. So yeah, he's over 30 games in that. Did he win it? 16, 6. Yeah, he did. He right there at the 23 win mark for that. So he I don't know. Is he graduating this year? I don't know if how big of a deal. Let's see, his touchdown to interceptions 71 touchdowns in his career to 22 interceptions. So yeah, it fits all those boxes.
Yeah, and that's just seeing what he's been able to do, and just knowing the coaching staff that we have makes it even more exciting for us to get a guy like Fernando Mendoza. And to somebody's point over here, JS says, only reason I am with Fernando is because of our new head coach. Fernando needs help to win games. He's a great game manager. He is not a game changer. I mean,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
if and the greatest quarterback in the NFL of all time, Tom Brady, is a game manager too. Like,
yes.
as long as you do your job right and don't make those mistakes and make the right throws when you need it, those critical throws, then that's all you ask for. Like I said, like, I don't expect Fernando to come out and be like for Patrick Mahomes or Josh Allen and just start throwing 400 yards and winning, or like doing all these flashy things and on his own to win games. I want him to be a part of the system and make all the right throws and be smart, be calculated, and when we need him to step up, step up. That's it.
How many game managers have won the Super Bowl?
Menus.
Tons. We just saw one right now with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's
Exactly.
not by himself is not going to go out there and light it up.
Yeah.
Hell, Brock Purdy has been in the Super Bowl. He's not going to. You saw what happens when they put too much on him. He's not going to go out there and win you games. You saw it with Brad Johnson, with John Gruden when he did it. Trent Dilfer's won a Super Bowl. There, and like you said, Tom Brady, when his team had good defense and he didn't turn the ball over, and that's exactly what you're looking for.
Yeah.
You're not looking for you. We don't want Fernando Mendoza to come in here and throw the ball 40 times. No,
You
we
don't need
want
him
him to
to.
just don't make the mistakes and let the running game and the defense do what it needs to do.
Yeah, and that's why we have, and that's why we have Ashton Genty, right? Like, going into this next season, we're gonna rely a lot on him to open up a lot of stuff for the past game, especially for a guy like Fernando Mendoza. And yeah. So that's why I'm okay with calling, if he's gonna be a game manager, I'm okay with that, as long as he does his job right. And that
Hit the
that that
added
that
bonus.
that floor for that quarterback position, like we stated multiple times, is really, really low. So I'm cool with that. I don't need him to go out there and do a lot of the extra
If the
unnecessary stuff.
Raiders signed Jared Goff this offseason, like, we didn't have the number one pick, whatever, it's just a regular offseason, and Jared Goff was signed to the Raiders, would you be happy with that?
Yeah,
Uh,
I'd be more happy with that, and I have more trust in it, uh, because we got somebody like Kubiak and Janoko running the offense.
okay, so now we're just getting a younger, like, so yeah, you would be happy with like everybody. I think if the news broke where the Raiders got like in any other year where it's not Fernando Mania and like, it's just a normal offseason, and it's just like the Raiders have signed or traded for Jared Goff, I think Raider fans would be okay with it. I think they'd be like, okay, let's see what we could do because we saw what he's been into Super Bowl with the Rams. He's improved. He's a game manager. He's going to find his weapons and go from there. Now, can we build the offense around him and get it going?
Yeah,
That's what you're asking for. Jared Goff's not going to win you the games. We've seen it where he goes out there and throws for 40 times and it doesn't work out well for the team. But with that running game and with the wide receivers around him, it's there.
yeah. No,
See, Alex, I'm not talking about. See, he's talking about. I'm tired of band-aids. I'm talking about if you had Jared Goff, like we're not putting a band-aid there. We're saying that if you had a guy like Jared Goff's talent, would you be happy? And that's basically what we're getting with Fernando Mendoza, and everybody would be happy. But if Fernando goes and succeeds that uh,
yeah,
comparison or and he moves on and he's now better, it's only better for us as the organization.
yeah. No, for sure. I'd be cool with that. We would also have a great weapon with our first round pick in that scenario. Yeah. Yeah, shout out to the chat. Eric says Fernando is the man. He's going to be great for us. You watch. Hit that ABBA music, Maus. Hey, we're ready for it. We're ready for it over here, and I have trust. I have trust in this regime to get the deal done. And bring in the right pieces that we need offensively, even defensively, to make his life a lot easier.
Now, do you
Now,
do you believe that what he said yesterday about Jack Betch being like the
Yeah, I do.
The main guy, like that you could
He
see
didn't
him
say
as
the
the
main guy,
leader.
but like they could utilize him like a JSM. But I think that the main thing is like we're not gonna we don't have a guy right now that could just be the number one, but we have multiple guys that like Jack Bush, we can move them all around the field. But I think having a because I'm like I could say, oh, it's good to not have a number one receiver, right? It's good to have multiple solid receivers, but not a number one. But then again, I do want a number one, so I can't really say that because like I'd want to get an Alec Pierce. I'd want to get uh damn, who else is that? Romeo Dobbs, you know. But see, I don't see Romeo Dobbs as a number one like I do with Alex Pierce. But maybe I'm wrong.
I
But
just know Romeo Dobbs is that big old bobblehead.
yeah, with the yeah. But I mean, like, yeah, I think Jack Besh, I think is gonna have a much better season this year. A lot of our rookies should at least elevate, or we'll see a couple of them elevate. Whether it's him, whether it's Caleb Rogers, DJ Glaze, or Porter. I think this is gonna be the year too because I think these coaches are put in a good position to at least help them excel.
Yeah.
Um, but you know, from going from there is like I don't know if you want to like. Do you have that clip that I sent you yesterday? Because I don't have my phone on me right now. The one with Max Crosby and with Max.
How do you want me to pull it up?
Send it to me on Instagram or DM it to me. So as Joe gets that one ready. What do you call it? So I know everybody's kind of tired of talking about the Max Crosby thing, and trust me, I'm not trying to beat you guys' head over beat you guys over the head with it, but I don't think a lot of people seen it, so I thought I want to just kind of get Joe's thoughts on it and just get the nation's thoughts. Though, Max Crosby came out with his new podcast with Sarah Safari yesterday, who we did see at the Shannon Sharp party. But yeah, she went on a podcast and it was a cool podcast because I like listening to the Rush a lot. But Max gave her a chance to ask any questions and whatnot, and she asked an interesting question because as Raider fans, it's something that we want to hear, but it's not the fact that he didn't really answer the question, but just like his demeanor when he was asking the question is kind of something I was kind of uh, looking at.
Just play it, or you go.
Uh, on IG here, no, because I could. Wait, no, I didn't get it. Oh, there you go. I got it. Okay, here we go. Because I can pull it up. That's why. Here we go. So shout out to the chat. If you guys haven't seen it, man, I'm gonna pull it up right here. So I don't think that Max is going anywhere either. But I think it basically I'll let you guys listen to it first. So this is the clip that I haven't seen nobody post it or anybody talk about it, so I thought we'd talk about it on here. Just real quick. Right? But I know that Max is deflecting the question because he doesn't have to answer anything. But it was the fact that like it kind of keeps that door open and that's how I took it. And I think he really is keeping that door open on if he does stay or if he does go. But what was your thoughts on it?
I mean, one, I think if Max is going to make that announcement, he's not going to make it on somebody else's show. Like,
No, that was his show. That was his Rush
oh,
podcast. That's it. She was the guest.
Oh, okay. Because it seemed like it was like her doing the interview on him. So I think he wants. We've talked about. I mean, this is like I don't know how many times we could talk about it, but Max. I don't think Max doesn't want to ruin his reputation. He doesn't want to be the bad guy in this situation.
Yeah.
And I think John Spytek coming out yesterday and saying, "Hey, I anticipate Max being on the team next year or at the start of next year," that put more pressure on Max, and that put it like, "Hey, it's on Max if he's going to be here or not, and if he's going to be that." And do I think like when you ask me like, do you see Max Crosby as a Raider next year? Yeah, I 100% still see him. Now, am I going to talk about the rumors? And yeah, hell yes, I am, because I'd be doing a disservice to myself, and you would be doing a disservice as a content creator and as a Raider podcast and talk. It is Raider news. It is something that needs to be talked about, and it's not going to go away until, like you said, Max could have slammed the door shut right there, And he could be like, yeah, I'm a Raider for life. I don't know what all this stuff is. I've talked about it multiple times. But of course, he kept the door open again. And I understand because Max this is his sixth coach again. He's going through another regime change. Maybe he wants to see how they attack all this, and maybe he wants to see how the team goes. And like, I don't know. Like, I want to hear, like, in the past, this is what we've heard from Max. Yes, Raider Nation for life. You know, I'm here. I'm doing it. I'm ready to work. And now we're just hearing like, you know, I'm just here with my boys. I'm working on myself and trying to get healthy. Like, there's a difference in the tone of what he's saying
Yeah.
it. And
Yeah.
that is what gets people.
And I think it goes right back to what he said when he came out on the Collins show and whatnot. It's like, you know, when he says something, there's always something to talk about. When he doesn't say anything, there's always going to be something to talk about. And I looked at the situation, not saying that, you know, it means a lot, but like, there's a lot of people that think that Max is not going to, he doesn't want to go anywhere, right? And then there's other people saying that I think that he's open to going somewhere, right? And I think this kind of just shows that he doesn't want to slam the door shut on any one of those possibilities, because if he does stay, then he stays. And like you said, he could have easily shut it down on his own podcast. It would have definitely got a lot of clicks. It would have got a lot of people talking about it if he said, "Oh, I'm gonna stay." Like, yeah, of course, I'm a Raider for life. I'm not going anywhere. Yada yada yada. But I think the fact that he's not saying it is the fact that, okay, if anything happens, then you can't come back to this podcast and be like, "Oh, he said he was a Raider for life, but now he's getting traded." And it's the same thing that we keep beating everything over the head with. But you know, I seen it yesterday. I didn't see anybody post it, so I thought I even sent it to you, and I was like, "Dang, who's deflected the question still?" It's like,
Well, he can't come out and say, "Yeah, I want to be traded," and then it works out where he's like, "Oh, you know what? I actually like the team and I want to stay here."
yeah,
And then the Raiders can't come out and say, "We want to trade Max Crosby because they'll lower the value." And then if it all works out, now we're looking at like now the relationship is even worse because
yeah,
both teams both want it out. No, it's like let it work itself out. Max is unhappy. You know he is. Like, he wants to win. He knows that he's getting up there on age and he has like a couple more solid seasons. I would say at least 4 more elite seasons until we start seeing the little bit of decline. But Max, he's what, 28 years old. Like,
yeah,
he's only going to get better for the next couple of years, and he wants those years to mean something. Like, he doesn't need another 2-3 win season. He wants to go out there. He doesn't want to
yeah,
change coaches every year,
yeah,
and he doesn't want to be benched at the end of the year for better draft picks. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
so his frustration is valid,
yeah.
and I said this yesterday, and I think he wants basically the Raiders to acknowledge him, and like it's
Acknowledge.
like when you piss off your wife for a little, like she gets mad at something, she wants
Yeah,
you, like, she's still there, but she wants you to like buy her those flowers and just like reassure her that
that's a good
she's still
analogy.
the one.
That's a good analogy. You know, make him feel a little bit more wanted than he already is right now. Hey, and rightfully so. Like, uh, I'd be tired of it, and we talked about it yesterday. Is yeah, maybe he just wants to wait it out before he says anything. Maybe he wants to see what the direction the Raiders are going to go in. I think we kind of know, but let's see how free agency pans out before I say something, before I make a decision, right? And if it seems like we're going in the right direction, yeah, I'll stay. I think I want to stay, but if not, and I can see me going somewhere else and being great, okay, that's fine as well. Shout out to the chat. I got James Russell up in here saying that Mad Max said he built his dream house and everything else is in place for being in Vegas for life. We should be talking about other things like bringing back Jeff George. Jeff George would be
Didn't I
nice on
send
this.
you a clip yesterday that I sent you something yesterday about Josh Jacobs just sold his house in Vegas
Yeah,
for the house that he had built and never lived in. Like,
yeah,
buying a house as an NFL player is on you, and it could happen at any time. And a lot of people bring up his contract. Like, we here's where I've heard it. Like, and maybe John Spytek and this regime is different, and that's what we're hoping for, right? But as Raider fans, we always reminisce in the past. We always go back to what we know. And what we know is when we're told a player is a Raider for life and they're staying here and they're too good to be traded, what happens? They're gone the next week. It's like we're sitting here going, okay, we want to believe that Max is going to be here forever. We want to believe what John Spytek said that, hey, I might answer the phone, but I'm not going to trade him because he's too elite. We don't want to let him out there. But we've also seen it where Devontae Adams is gone. Amari Cooper is gone. Khalil Mack's gone. And then we're like, wait, I thought they were Raiders for life. Like what's going on here? So that's the only thing that yes, we've heard it from Max before. But last year, if you go back, and I've tried to do the research, and I've tried to go back and I've watched interviews from last year's offseason compared to this year's offseason of Max talking, and there's a big difference. Like Max last year was like, yeah, Pete's good. I like him. I just need to get my contract taken care of, and once that is in there, I'm back in the building and I'm doing my thing. And now, and he goes, I'm a Raider, and he kept saying, I'm a Raider, I'm a Raider. Now he just goes, I live in Vegas. Vegas is my home. He doesn't say anything Raider related, and he just goes, I'm in the building every day. I'm working on myself. I'm getting myself better, and then we'll go from there. So there's just little different wording that he uses, and I just think it's because they want to keep that door open, because if it does happen, and I'm not saying it will happen, but I'm saying if it does happen, they don't they don't go back and look at it like, well, you said, and try to make him the bad guy. But yeah, I think everybody is tired of talking about it, but
Yeah.
unfortunately, it's something we're going to talk about all the way to the it's going to be a topic until it's not a topic, until it's slammed shut or the season starts.
No, I agree with you on that. Is my bad. Can I just let you? You could just talk to the chat real quick. I just gotta get my daughter. She's over here crying real quick.
No, you're good. Max is tired of the same questions. If he didn't say it, leave it alone. But what are we saying that he didn't say it? Where everybody wants to win, but Max, I think I think James Russell, I think you're right. Matt, to replace a Max Crosby would take years to replace him. To get what he does in the take away his sacks and his rushing game. Just what he does in the run game to stop the running game. And I know there was a lot of times last year where people were like, Max had a bad game. And then I go, no, look at what he did against the run and how he stopped the run game. There's a big difference. And plus, like I've said, we really haven't been able to find him. We've tried, but we haven't been able to find him that piece that goes along with him to help him on that defensive line. That was the past. Adams wanted number one money, but Adams didn't want money. Adams wanted to win. Adams had number one money. That dude was making $30 million a year. I think the only I don't think Max gets traded, but like I said, we will continue to talk about it because it is something to do. I think I think the reason I think the Max Crosby talks are bigger this year, and the Raiders are actually really like in the last couple of years, the Raiders pick up the phone. They go, "Oh, what's for Max Crosby?" You hang up the phone. But I think the Raiders are more willing to listen because the deals are getting better, and this is probably like one of the highest times that the most value that you can get from Max. I think if the Raiders hold on to Max this year, they hold on to him next year, and then they continue. I really think the Raiders are 2 years away from being legit contenders. Not saying that they won't win games, but being like actual legit contenders where you're like, this team can go somewhere. Like you can win 9 games, make the playoffs, sneak into the playoffs like the Carolina Panthers did, and not be ready for the playoffs. But I'm saying actually be like a legit contender. So I'm hoping Max realizes that. And like we talked about it, like listen to Chad Ochocinco when he said he left for greener grass and he missed it when the team started winning. So I don't know. I think that's why we're hearing more of the Max Crosby rumors this year is just because his value is at a all-time high right now.
And the Raiders are at a point where they can basically rebuild and just try to build for the future. But I know we both. I know a lot of Raider fans are tired of hearing about it and tired of talking about it, and even our GM John Spicek is probably tired of talking about it too, or even being asked, but he knows it's going to be asked. I seen this clip yesterday, so I thought I'd play it real quick.
People ask about Max all the time. People tried to pry Max away from us last year too.
Right.
So Max is a Raider. We gave him a, at the time it was the biggest contract for a non-quarterback in the history of the NFL last year.
And you was here for 10 minutes and did that. That's what I tell people. You was only here for 10 minutes and you say, you know what? You prioritize Max.
Yeah. And so, I mean, when we're in the business of trying to have great football players.
Right.
And Max is a great football player. And so to me, it's just business. I know everyone's going to ask about it. I mean, it's business as usual. And I can say no till I'm blue in the face and people are still going to ask. So, instead I just listen. That's one of my superpowers, I feel like, is I can just sit there and listen and people can say what they want and I'll take whatever comes and then onward we go.
Yeah, and all he can do is just listen, though, at this point.
And it doesn't hurt to listen. It doesn't hurt to listen.
It doesn't hurt to listen, but it doesn't mean that they're going to do it. I mean, that's what you just said, too. But, yeah, I think we're going to continue to hear the talks until somebody shuts it, or until Max shuts it down, or until the Raiders give him a nice, hefty extension again, and just go from there, And
it's funny because he goes, in that same interview, he goes, we gave Max the highest paid contract for a non-quarterback at that time. And, yeah, it was at that time. And then, like, a month later, Myles Garrett blows that contract out of the water. And Max, because I think at that time, Max got $36 million a year. And then Myles Garrett went to 40. And then I think TJ Watt blew that one out. And I think it's like $41 million now. It's like, it's ridiculous.
It's going to continue to go. I mean,
would you be okay with giving Max a couple extra $1 million this year?
Are you asking me if I would be okay with it?
Yeah, right. Like, hey, if it made Max happy just a little bit more, because money talks a little bit, and you go, Max, we want you to be here, and we're going to guarantee you here's another $6 million this year. You good with it? We're good. All right, let's go.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Sometimes money talks, and because Myles Garrett was like, I'm on out of Cleveland. I'm done. I want out, and then all of a sudden he signed a $40 million deal, and he's like, all right, I'm back.
But see, he like Myles Garrett did that whole thing, right? He did that whole charade, and even had that message of like, thank you to the Browns, like he was leaving.
Yeah.
And then he got that money. He's like, you know what? I decided to stay. I love Cleveland. Let's go and win. It's like, bro.
Yeah, everybody in the chat saying don't give him no more money. They're saying no. It's either Max plays on what he has now, or I think more people are okay with. If you were going to trade Max, this is the year to do it, because more people are like, we're down. We had a bad year last year. It's like, rip the Band-Aid off and let's start. If we're going to start fresh, we're going to start fresh. And with Kubiak.
They're saying that Clint Kubiak is talking right now. Let's see. Where is he talking now? The Raiders?
He'd be on the Raiders.
It's not on the Raiders.
It's probably very interesting too.
Yeah. Resistance. Let me know where. If you're in the chat, and then we'll go over there and see where he's talking at. Because I don't see it unless it's on like Twitter somewhere. Because I know that because I know what's his name. We heard from Mark Davis earlier today though, but I didn't see anything on.
Mark Davis.
Yeah, I didn't see anything on Clint Kubiak. Because it's not on the Raiders channel right now. Let's see if I find it. Yeah, I don't see it on the Raiders channel. Being posted in tweets. Okay.
Oh, it's probably like walking around somewhere.
Oh, well, there are people saying. See, I don't know where it's at though, but I see Ryan McFadden right here. He says, let's pull it up then. So according to Ryan McFadden, Clint Kubiak on Geno Smith's future with the team, he says that he's trying to see every possible avenue we can go next year at quarterback, and he's definitely one of those options. Kubiak said he's spoken to Smith briefly since being hired. Oh, that's something. Yeah, I just seen it right now. I just seen the McFadden news right now. So that and that's why I said like I wouldn't be opposed to having Geno Smith as as that quarterback because he did want to coach him when he went to Seattle before he got traded. GMs and coaches are speaking at the combine right now. Okay, you can let me know that your thoughts on that. Those I'm gonna try to look for this.
Yeah, I think Kubiak. I think even Spytek spoke on Geno Smith yesterday, where he said he hasn't talked to him either since the season ended, but they were going to do something, and it's something that we talked about. Like, I don't think the Raiders are trying. Like, if they could trade him, it'd be better if they trade him. So I don't think you always want to act like you want to keep your players, and you never want to show your cards too soon. And I don't know because like we talked about, if the Raiders keep Geno Smith, it's only $8 million more this season. They're going to pay him $18 million no matter what. Keep him unless they can find a trade offer. So do you want to go out there and get a veteran, or do you want to keep him as your veteran? That's the option that they're going for. And if, like we talked about, there's coaches out there that say, okay, Geno had a bad year because of everything that was surrounding him and not just because of Geno.
Yeah.
And they go from that. But I know a lot of Raider fans would be pissed off if we kept Geno Smith because of the way he acted towards the Raider Nation. And like I said, Raider Nation would forgive you for a lot of stuff: interceptions, bad play. And we would have said the offensive line was bad, but to come at us like we were stupid in press conferences, to flip fans off, that is what is the negative on Geno Smith.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think it's the actions that he had with the organization and retaliation of his play. And that's why I feel like that's like a big no. But if Clint Kubiak's on board for it, then okay, I wouldn't be totally mad.
You're not going to make a lot of people happy with it.
Yeah, I think he'd be better with this new regime with a better offensive line coach. That's how I feel. But
Ron said he won't watch another game if Geno's on the squad.
Okay, I got to get your number wrong because I feel like you would. I'll say the same thing too, but I'll still watch no matter what. Yeah, I don't see nothing on. I don't see no live stream or anything on.
Yeah, I like what Raider Dev said right there. Like, I'd be pissed. We don't want to show that we take back a mofo that disrespects us.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I'm good with him and I'm good without him. That's my deal. But
it's a disrespect issue.
Yeah. Since I can't find it, I wanted to get into this. You made this real quick. I wanted to ask the nation. This is where you had. We got a lot of different seats on the plane, but if you had to choose, where are you sitting? Asking, I want to ask the nation. But you know what? While people are answering that, I guess where were you? Where would you be sitting at those?
This is interesting. In my mind, I was thinking like, how long is the plane ride, or whatever it is a plane or bus, whatever.
12-hour flight.
How long's the ride? Because
10-hour flight.
Because my big ass ain't sitting at number 10 or number 7, even though I want it. Like I think the Brock Bowers and Fernando Mendoza one, we won't get a lot of conversation out of them. Like, I think people will be like, yeah, we get to sit next to them. But I don't think they'll give you a lot of conversation. Sitting next to Genty and Mark Davis, it would kind of be interesting to see how it goes. I know Genty would be playing some good music. He's the one that got John Gruden into it. But I don't know. I kind of feel that I'd be sitting like at number 4. I give myself a little bit of room, but then I'm talking
a little bit of leg room with Clint,
trying to see what he's up to. I should have put John Spytek in this one. That would have been a better interest.
Yeah, that would have probably been more interesting. We got John. John said 10. He'd be between Genty and Mark, which I'm like, I don't know. Middle seats is crazy.
Now, I saw one guy. He said he would go number 8 because you could turn around and talk to Max. You could talk to the 2 offensive linemen right there. Then you hit Fernando on your right side, and then you have Mark if you want to tap on his shoulder to have him turn around.
Oh, that is true though. So somebody said that I feel like Fernando would be yapping. He probably would. He probably talks in his sleep too. Who knows?
You think you can get Fernando like Kirk Cousins when he was on that Vikings?
Oh yeah. That'd be crazy. I do I probably do. I'm stuck because I'm like I like 12 just for the extra leg. Oh no, 11 because I'm next to Mark and JPJ and I got the leg room right. Or I'm going number 6 and sitting next to Max and we're like, hey Max, are you staying or not? No, I was joking.
Somebody said 12 no matter what, right next to JPJ.
12 is a good spot. Like I said, you got more leg room right there. But then
the window.
It's either 6 or 11, but I guess I go 11. I guess I go 11 because I have the leg room. I'm in the aisle, and I'm right next to Marky Mark. You know, make some moves, talk some news.
It'd be like, hey, Mark, let us sit in the suite one day with you. We just want to watch one game with you.
Come on, man. Just let us.
You got all that room up there, just you and Jim Gray.
One day. Story by Jordan Schultz. The Raiders showing interest in Malik Willis. Would that change anything or no?
I mean, why I don't. It would change stuff come draft day because I don't know why you would take Malik Willis and Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah, true.
I don't. To be honest with you, I think Malik Willis is going to Arizona no matter what. I mean, he played for LaFleur. Now his brother LaFleur is the coach of Arizona. It's going to work out.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Some people are going, let's see, next to Max and GP. So somebody said 7-3. So, okay. 8. Okay, that's the one we talked about. 8 is a popular one.
7-3. Where's 3? Oh, 3. Oh, damn, right next to Clinton. You don't want 4?
Hey, right. Hey, he's like
he's in no room.
Sharing that arm rest with me, baby. Like,
arm to arm, Moose. Arm to arm with Clint. When you got an extra seat, you one of those, huh? Where you got the parking lot full of empty spaces, but you come park right next to me.
There's all these other rooms. You're right here.
8. Yeah, 8's a good one. I think 8's a good one because you could literally. I'm going 7. Okay, bye Mendoza. What? 8, and you are right in the middle of all of them. Crosby behind, Mendoza to your right, Mark Davis. Yeah, I got a 5. Okay, Raiders got set 5. Yeah, it is not bad at all. Let me see if I see any more things on Clint Kubiak. But that is an interesting point by Ryan McFadden about oh boy, Gino.
And Javon Hargrove of the Minnesota Vikings defense tackle. He played for the Eagles during their Super Bowl run when they lost to the Chiefs. And then he went to the Niners for a big deal with the Niners. Then went to Minnesota. He's a defense tackle. He is on the block. I don't know what it would take to get him. I don't even know. Huh?
Who are you talking about? My bad.
Javon Hargrove.
Oh, Hargrove. Yeah, I see that name.
He's a little older, but I mean, for to add another defensive guy onto the line, depending on what he is a 2-time Pro Bowler. But
yeah,
something to throw out there.
I'll take 1, 6 and 12. Okay. I mean, some solid ones right there. You can't go wrong with any one of those guys. Yeah, I don't see any more Clint Kubiak stuff, but I guess that's the only one from. I guess Ryan McFadden is the only guy talking to Clint Kubiak, because we would have seen your boy over there asking him what his offseason plans are.
Yeah, what do the Raiders have plans for free agency?
But what's your number 1 free agent target? Please let me know.
Can you, and while you're at it, can you show us your draft board? Like,
I'm not
who's number 1 on the draft board, and
I'm not gonna tell you that.
Raider Joe's asking, do you see JPJ at center, or are you going to go get somewhere else?
I'd want to move him to center. I'd rather want to move him to center though.
I think our options are open, and we talked about JPJ yesterday, where depending on what the Raiders can get, and I think when Spytech said that yesterday about the best 5 guys who fit the best 5 positions will play, I think he's leaving it open too, because when he gets to the free agency or he gets to the draft, he doesn't want to be held to, I can't get a center because I already got one. He wants to be able to be like, okay, we can get the best player right now as a center, so we're going to go with him, and we can move JPJ over, because JPJ is good at both positions.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I think the reason it was a bigger deal last year that JPJ wasn't playing center is because of how bad Meredith played at center and how bad that experiment was. When we know, hey, just put him over at center and we can do it. Now, if we had a competent center and somebody that was actually playing a good center and JPJ could play guard, it wouldn't be that big of a conversation. But since Meredith and everybody else who played center last year was just horrific at it, that's why it was blown up to a bigger thing than it should have been.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, we'll see this offseason though. There's definitely going to be a lot of options whether or not the Raiders want to do that.
Now here's an interesting thing. This is very, very interesting, and this is very big news right here. Ryan McFadden said Kubiak said the Raiders will run a 3-4 base defense under Rob Leonard.
Yeah.
Now that right there is interesting because we're used to a 4-3 defense. Now that means we will be attacking linebackers in free agency because we don't have linebackers for a 3-4 defense. So that changes a lot. And where's Max going to play? Is Max jumping out to left or right outside linebacker, or is he going to be that 3-4 defensive end? So I think that's huge news right there.
Yeah. I mean, that changes a lot. And knowing this is going to be a class with a lot of linebackers too, and also a free agency class that has a lot of linebackers that we can go and attack too, would be pretty huge. Because you'd have more linebackers than defensive linemen, right?
Yeah, you're gonna need more linemen or more linebackers for sure.
Unless you look at Max as a linebacker too, like he could play outside of.
And now with the 3-4, now I'm actually looking at maybe bringing in Landon Roberts back and
Devin White.
Devin White, and you're looking at what they could do because you could get one more other.
Maybe Jalen Phillips. That's a name.
That's the name I would like.
Jalen Phillips, Nakobe Dean, of course. I mean, there are a lot of names. And he just also tweeted that Kubiak said that JPJ's role on the offensive line is to be determined. The fact that he can do multiple spots is really exciting. I really like JPJ's play style. So, I mean, they're still not answering that question. I think it's up there. I mean, they're open to making him a guard or center. I think it just depends on how free agency goes. But hey,
and right, yeah, and talking about JPJ, Ryan McFadden said Kubiak said JPJ's role is on the offensive line is to be determined. The fact that he can play it all is good. So Ryan McFadden must be talking to Kubiak by himself.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure like old boys over there like, wait, where's Kubiak?
Because 23 seconds ago he says Kubiak said, I'm excited to working with Max Crosby this year. So there's another take on Max out there. Here we go. Raiders looking to add a fullback and another running back this offseason, says Kubiak. So, I mean, this is like Ryan McFadden is throwing some good stuff out. If you guys aren't following him on Twitter, there's a lot of good stuff that he is able to throw out there with him talking to Clint Kubiak right now. We asked last year. I don't know if how many people were watching last year, and they were like, "Genty is struggling, and the offensive line is struggling. Why don't we have a fullback out there?" So that's cool that we're actually going to look for a fullback and try to get one in there. These are all good things that you want to hear from your quarterback or from your head coach at the combine, and good for Ryan McFadden on getting a lot of this information out there. Let me see what else he said. Because it's just, I mean, hell yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, is my boy on the road.
Who, Ryan McFadden?
McFadden, yeah.
Yeah, he is. No, that's to be able to get to coach and you're the only one throwing out the information, that's good stuff.
Hell yeah, he probably got him locked in a corner somewhere. Hey, answer these questions for me.
Hey, somebody stole your graphic.
Which
Raider
one?
history. Raider history. Used our graphic right there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, gonna have to report him now or what?
Huh?
Gonna have to
Bring
report him
back
or
John
what?
Ritchie. Oh shit! Do you know about John Ritchie? What you know about John Ritchie?
Who?
Woo.
Who? I'm just joking. I'm joking. I know him. He was my favorite back in the day. Hey, now, if I was over there, I would have just put something out there too. Just said Kubiak and just write something. Just act like I'm talking to him too. Kubiak, we're open to all offers, but we definitely want to keep Max.
I mean, who wouldn't be interested in working with Max Crosby, right? Like,
Yeah. Okay.
what are you supposed to say? Nope. I
No.
don't want to work with that dude. One of the best defensive ends, defensive players in this game. Not looking forward to that. Like,
I mean, these are definitely some solid things. I know a lot of people are gonna talk about it, but
3-4 defense is yeah, that's
it changes a
that
lot.
that that changes a lot because you're only looking for now you're looking for a nose tackle, and I don't know if we have one on our team that one of our
No.
defensive linemen that fit that.
Lee Hunter.
He could probably fit the nose tackle position,
Yeah.
but
We got Jonah Laulu, so we're good. I'm sure. But
well,
do you
no,
guys think?
like Jonah wouldn't fit there, but he would fit one of the DN spots, like because in the
Yeah.
3-4 it's more of a Jonah. Yeah, Jonah is big enough that he could go out there, but yeah, it's just that means we're gonna see a lot more blitzes and stuff. We're gonna so everybody was wondering what Rob Leonard what kind of scheme he would run. Yeah, he's going to that Baltimore Ravens 3-4. Like, let's
Yeah.
go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm
So
excited about that news.
yeah, because now they're tapping into that Mike McDonald route, right? Mike McDonald ran a 3-4.
Yeah, and that's where McDonald and Rob Leonard worked together in Baltimore under John Harbaugh. So
Mm-hmm.
um,
Yeah.
there you
So
go. Oh, yeah,
and JJ
I forgot about our rookies from last year. Okay.
and JJ could be a fullback too if we really need him to. But see now, like we look now when you go like see these are the things that you hear, and when you go do these mock drafts, now you think about that linebacker position a little bit more. Maybe you look at a guy like Jacob Rodriguez who could just play anywhere at that linebacker position, kind of that could fly out. Would be really interesting.
Yeah, I think with the 3-4 defense now you attack it a little bit different. You're gonna attack the offseason a little bit different.
And good thing for the Raiders, there's a lot of options in free agency and the NFL draft this year at that position. Like the offensive line, the same with the linebacker position.
Whew. Hell yeah. Good. Hey, good job, Ryan McFadden. Going out there and getting real questions and real work done.
No, I'm waiting for him to ask Clint Kubiak what his free agency plan is. Who's his top target?
Hey, does that mean we can get Khalil Mack back? No.
Maybe. But you know what? That being said, those man, I appreciate you coming on, man. Appreciate the chat, man. You guys been killing it, Uz. Shout out to Martin, Talofa. Let's go. Shout out to you guys. Okay, I gotta go in a bit because this girl over here bugging me, dog. But
Yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow morning.
huh?
We'll see you tomorrow morning, Thursday morning. We'll talk. Hey, tomorrow we'll talk. What do we say? Defensive line. We'll talk about whoever's participating in the drills. I'll bring a list of that, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, no, definitely. But it was a great show, like always, Zeus. This third day in a row where we continue to do it. And shout out to the chat. We'll be here every day, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, whatever breaks during that time. We'll talk about it, like today. But until then, you guys can follow me on all social media platforms like usual. And of course, the Joe Morley _ on social media platforms as well. But we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Until then, we are out.
Later.